all know Jennifer Lopez as a dancer, actress, singer, producer, designer, and a judge on American Idol. Now she's adding another title to her resume, that of author. Her new book, True Love, is out, and it's described as a journey of self-discovery. And we're here with Jennifer today.
Hello.
To talk about
that
it.
was
Thank
very
you.
good, by the way. Watching you do that, that was no teleprompter or anything. She did that all on her own.
I try.
It was awesome.
So tell me a bit about this book, because it's about your first world tour, which is
Yes.
a big deal, but also about the personal challenges that accompanied that.
Yeah.
And it's also very much about your being a mother and your children, your love for them. When you use the title True Love, does that encompass all of those things?
Absolutely. The book started out to be just a diary of the year I went on my first world tour, which was unusual because I had already was on my 9th album, about to make my 10th album. So we thought, let's document it. It's the first time we're going on a tour. We'll do pictures and anecdotes and how you put the tour together, and it'll be a great fan bundle. I start putting this tour together. I start looking at my music over the past, 15 years and looking at how autobiographical my music was, what I wanted to say to put together the quintessential kind of like J-Lo tour for the first time. And that story became a story from who I was, who am I, what I want to say as an artist, who I am, who the world thinks I am, and all that became part of the show. At the same time, it made me take a good look in the mirror at where my life was when I started those albums to where it was at this moment where I just gotten divorced.
You're very candid about your relationship with Mark Anthony and your marriage, your divorce. Was he supportive of the book?
He is supportive of the book. I let him read it first. He was one of the first people outside of me, the publisher, and the girl who was typing to read it. And I was very, very careful that the story be just about my journey, that it wasn't pointing the finger at anybody for anything, but holding up the mirror and looking in the mirror for myself.
Something you spoke about in the book is the support that you received from American Idol.
Oh, yeah.
You clearly describe American Idol, the people there, the show itself, as a great source of support during what was a difficult time in part. Tell me a little bit about that, how the people involved in that show.
When I took the step to go on American Idol, which everybody thought in my life wasn't a good idea, but in my gut, I felt like this is the right thing. This is something I should do. It's about music. I love it. I have something, I feel like I have something to offer to this. And when I did it, and there was no script, and there was no song, and it was just me being me, and people liked me. And it was such a great response, not from the audience that was watching, but also from the people I was working with. It made me realize just me as a person, not being a singer, not being a dancer, not being famous, not being successful, not being any of that stuff, not selling millions of records, none of that mattered. Just the person I was enough. And that was the first step, probably the second step, because the first one was me having the babies, and then it was me getting on the show. And little by little, I was like building up this self-confidence to the step of where I wrote the book and realized I hadn't been loving myself for a long time.
Yeah. It's a bit of a self-help book as well.
In a weird way, without even trying to write a self-help book.
Yeah.
I just think, I get so inspired by other people, by other women. I remember being a little girl and watching Madonna jog in Central Park and thinking, wow, she's, rich and famous and successful and an amazing performer, and she's out there working. She doesn't need to be out there running, but that's what you have to do. You have to work hard. Like, in my mind, like, just that little thing, just seeing that one picture inspired me.
Yeah. So now that you've done this, what's up for you next? Have you?
Well, right now I'm just on my journey of self. That's me. But I'm on my own right now. I've taken some time. I'm not dating anybody. I'm not even looking for anybody. I'm not even entertaining anything like that. I'm just getting to know myself, just for a little while. You know what I mean? And become my own best friend and see what I like and what I want.
Well, that's a great message to wrap up on, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us
you.
and for sharing the experiences that led to this book.
Thank you. Thank you.